What's going on, Leo? How are you doing? Hope we're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for July 28th through August 3rd, 2025. So in this reading, Leo, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding this upcoming week of the transition between July and August. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you, Leo, in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. That would also be greatly appreciated over here, Leo. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy and we'll see what's coming your way for July 28th through August 3rd, 2025. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Leo. Good investments. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. You got to hold someone accountable here, Leo. It looks like, wow. Not wow because this card came out again. Oh. All right, how are we going to do this? It's not, well, okay, let's just not make assumptions, but let's go ahead and get into this reading, Leo. So, yeah, before we start this reading, remember this is a general reading. And so let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. And these oracle cards contain the energy that you need more of, that spirit wants you to embody for your own success, well-being, and health. The first one is the 7th house of love and partnerships. So this is all about your one-to-one, significant one-to-one relationships in life, whether that's romantic, business, friendship, family, whatever. Relationship with another person. Let's just put it that way. But it really can be a relationship with anything. But really it's about your relationships with other people. So that's the first thing, really focusing on your relationships. And there are going to be for some of you, especially the single Leos, there's someone new coming in that's like going to be like, what? And there's a difficult situation with that. But in general, for you, it's all about relationships for the 28th to the 3rd. That will really help you. Now, you also have Lilith, which is all about wild femininity. The myth of Lilith is that she was basically exiled from the Garden of Eden because she refused to submit to Adam. And basically, she chose exile and loneliness and her own raw sexual energy instead of basically being tied to something that was no longer basically doing it for her, or was actually like abusing her from a certain perspective, how you want to look at it. And so with Lilith, in astrology, Lilith is the point in the chart that we look for when it comes to how an individual deals with conflict resolution. And conflict resolution is going to be something that's essential for you to master when it comes to the 28th to the 3rd. There will be a conflict in your life. There could even be potential heartbreak when it comes to you actually embodying this Lilith energy in order to potentially For some of you, you need to break someone's heart to wake them up to treat you better, and it doesn't have to be a permanent ending. For others of you, you may need to like really look at how you're going to deal with this conflicting situation in your life, and deal with it in a way that produces good karma and justice. It's about, you really need to look at how you're being hurt instead of numbing it out right now. At the same time, it's all about balance and not just being in the negative or the darkness so much. But Lilith, like I said, it's time for you to look at, well, let me just show you this. The next energy, the last energy that you need more of, is the sextile. And what that basically is an aspect of angles in astrology linking to bodies or planets that deals with a window of opportunity. The sextile is all about, it's like a golden vein. It's the silver lining. It's an opportunity that if you take it, you can gain everything. But if you don't take it, you don't really lose much, but you just basically miss a golden vein of opportunity. Now, this sextile obviously has to do with the 7th house of love and partnerships, and Lilith, wild femininity. So for some of you here, there's a relationship that's coming into your life that you will be able to express that Lilith energy in a way with the sextile that is very balanced and compatible for you. But for those of you that are still attached to something, Leo, that is causing you heartbreak and makes you feel like some iteration or variation of the actual story of Lilith, where you're just being subjugated or you're being abused by someone, whether physical, emotional, mentally, then you really need to look at, how am I going to create conflict resolution to this situation? How am I going to do that? And that's going to be different for all of you, but this reading will obviously help you with that. But on the bright side, if we're not dealing with like a breakup reading or someone who's getting abused, which many of you are, and I'm not laughing at your pain, we're like, I can only laugh at things I've been through, right? Not to say that I've been through the abuse that you've been through, but I got freaking I got my own issues, right? But for you, I feel like there's someone coming into your life, could be an earth sign, could be a Leo, that will help you with this whole process. Now, if you're a lady, this could be a friend. Maybe some of you were abused so bad that you actually turned into a lesbian. Or some of you are just done with men, and so you're going to become a lesbian now. Now, that's a joke, but for some of you, it's serious. And whether or not that's coming from the right place is up to you. Now, if you're a male Leo watching this, maybe no. I think that there's a relationship, for the single Leos out there, there's a relationship coming into your life that is going to be full of excitement, hope for the future, grounded attractiveness. But in your advice, you're dealing with a quite tricky situation, Leo. I don't usually do this, but I want to do it. Let's skip to your advice. In your advice for the 28th to the 3rd, you have the 3 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice card. So there's something about logically, because the 7th house is the house of Libra, which has to do with scales of justice, balance, the mind. Libras are very intelligent, and that's the energy you need more of. And then you have the Libra card. So there may be a Libra that is somehow related to this connection, this thing. There may be this may, for some of you, this is about potentially dealing with a heartbreaking legal situation that you're going to really have to figure out how to stand up for yourself while at the same time not being swept up into lies or swept up into deceit that violates your own soul, dare I say, because that's going to make you go crazy. So there's some sort of heartbreaking situation that Spirit is advising you to soberly look at and to potentially pull yourself out of something that is basically just a heartbreaker of a situation. And there could have to be something to do. I posted a quote that said, if you do not stand for, it's expressing that if you do not stand for something, you will fall for anything. And I think that's a quote, because Lilith, people think about, oh, I'm Lilith, I'm just here with my big titties and I look great. No, Lilith is about, how do I create conflict resolution and how do I express my wild femininity? Because the opportunity for you is to potentially even, for some of you, you need to link up with people who are on your same sexual wave or your same wave in terms of getting yourself out of this tricky situation that you're in. And you could have help from a Libra, or you could have the biggest challenge of your life. For some of you Leos out there, the advice is to clear up karma potentially with a Libra. If it's not that, then it's something pending in your life. We'll know what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Your opportunity, the 7 of Pentacles, it's interesting with all this. I feel like there's a piece of there's some sort of seed that you planted long ago, like the bamboo that goes underground and that don't no one knows that it's growing because the roots have to spread out for 7 years, and it's just aligning with the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 is also a number that does not occur naturally in nature, and it deals with the spiritual side. So I feel like you have a lot of spiritual help in the physical world for this week here. There's also something about seeds that you planted long ago are coming up, and your opportunity once again with that sextile is to capitalize on this in some sort of way, to be an alchemist, to make the best out of the worst and never allow a situation to really pull you into darkness if you can do something about it, which you can. Your challenge is the 4 of Cups. And then you have the 3 of Swords in your advice, right? So your challenge is some sort of situation potentially having to do with unrequited love or ghosting, or someone, whether this is you or someone else, fit it to your situation. You will be able to do that more as you tune in. A situation having to do with someone not taking the bait or emotional neglect. Now, for a lot of you, this situation definitely has to actually do with emotional neglect or someone not taking your emotions seriously. The reason I say that is because if I'm linking the reading with the Oracle, if we talk about Lilith, why do you think, and this kind of looks like a mini Garden of Eden, right? So maybe some of you just need to I don't know. I mean, I want to say so. I'm just being professional today, guys. But my profession is what is your profession? If I were to show you this map, and now I just go completely unprofessional, but it actually is the most professional thing that I could do. If I were to show you this map, what do you think of, guys? Does it ring a bell at all? Or no? Good. No? Good. Okay? Not good, actually, if it's no. So, look, take what you want, leave what you don't. But what I get from, and that was I don't laugh like that. What am I channeling? See, the way I feel in my body right now is like there's some sort of type A productive spirit helping me. That takes away from the, whatever. But anyway, I really feel like this is about a challenge to overcome emotional neglect in a relationship. Being honest with yourself, this person is not doing that for me. For others of you, though, this is about basically, a challenging situation to not get yourself involved in a situation that would compromise your own integrity in some sort of way. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what it's about. You have all the divine protection to say what? No. That's, I think, okay. Some of you are gonna be caught up in a situation where if you say yes to something that is a no, you're basically gonna ruin some sort of karma that has been sprouting based off of something. But anyway, so yeah, it's whether it's in your work or whether it's in your relationships or whether it's something that you're being called to do, I feel like your power is to actually say no and to walk away from anything that doesn't feel right. You have the Chariot, the 7 of Wands, and also the 8 of Cups. This is all about divine protection to put up a boundary, divine protection to take up your own space, divine protection to defend something that's worth defending as well. But then you have the 8 of Cups towards the end of the week, which is all about walking away from something that's okay, but it's not really the whole thing that will satisfy you. So yeah, you need to look at walking away from something that because some of you are going to be in a situation where, okay, yeah. I feel like for some of you, there's a situation where you if you get further entangled in it, you potentially will never be able to recover this aspect of yourself for a long time without going through a series of storms in your life. I want you to really take in what I just said. I think there's something that you have to do here to express maybe that you're hurt, that it's not okay. And now this sounds like but I just seriously feel that. I feel like there's something that you're divinely protected to, when you say no, sometimes your biggest blessings can come in. Sometimes the biggest thing that is keeping the opportunity to cash in on your good karma in your life is keeping someone around that is treating you like Adam, and and you just basically lose that. Now, I don't know if you want to make me the commissioner of the WNBA now. It's some joke. Brother. Okay. So I don't know. I'm sorry, but in your sorry, what you don't see coming. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Star, and the the Strength card. So this is your own energy, Leo. This is you shining, rejuvenating, being all healthy, having hope for the future. And then you have that Queen of Pentacles, which is all about your money. And this could have to do something with money. There could be someone that's just draining your resources, or there could be a situation that is completely draining your resources, and it's really hard for you to say no to because it's really fun. And it's like, I feel like for some of you, you've been looking for something within someone or some situation that is not fully there. So maybe it's time for a new friend or someone new to come in. Now, what this is really about, we're going to have to clarify it. But in your advice, you have the Three of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice card like I showed you. So the advice is, I feel, is to realize that there needs to be some sort of justice, just like when Lilith said no more. Or when, Rosa Parks was like, I'm not getting off the bus. For some of you, this is your Rosa Parks moment where it's just like, no, I'm not doing that. But then it's like, I think what happened, I don't know if they took her off the bus or whatever, but she made her point. And now she's etched into history forever, right? So I feel like this is something about you standing your ground on some sort of thing. Okay, and in order to produce good karma, and all about conflict resolution, because there is something here. It's like, I don't know. Let's clarify this for you, Leo. Let's clarify why the Seven of Pentacles is here, and then we'll go into that Four of Cups in your challenge. Why is the Seven of Pentacles? Well, wild femininity, but you do have that Ace of Wands energy. So something that excites you, a new beginning here related to your inspiration. That's also the card of hold on. That's also the card of sexual potency and being hard. But you have the Sun, the Eight of Pentacles, and also the Two of Swords for this opportunity. The Sun, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. Once again, this reading has so much to do with being able to say no, or being able to... Because Lilith is where you refuse to submit to another person or a situation. I refuse to submit to this deal. I refuse to submit to this. I will not get off the bus. F you. Now, some of you here... Now, let me tell you something here. Some of you, just like Rosa Parks, let me tell you something real straight. Some of you are being called to stand your ground, even if it gets you in a little bit of legal trouble, to make a point, dog. Do you guys think I'm scared of this? No. So some of you are going to be called to... Now, this is not for all of you, but for some of you, there is a distasteful, blasphemous situation that you may be called to get in trouble, legal trouble, to make a point in your life. Because trust me, sometimes the lesson of the situation is the universe being like, oh, you stood up to me. Okay, cool. You passed your test, but now, let's take you off the bus, So, but it's just that this is bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay, here we're getting warmed up now. So, I feel like this is about some sort of work, productivity, having to say no. Now, this flipped over as I was about to say something about, because the Ace of Wands is having to do with the birth of a male son. A strong male sun, and then you have the Sun here, and then you have this no frequency, and then you have the Eight of Wands. So maybe there's something about you have to say no to a situation involving that, or maybe there's something about like that potential being blocked in your life based off of you not, doing something that you need to like wildly say no. Because trust me, escape, no. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Let's clarify that 4 of... This is... I will. Okay, sorry. Let's clarify the 4 of Cups. Oh, the 4 of Cups is clarified by the King of Wands. And that flew out onto the Justice card. So sometimes, because Lilith doesn't just say, sneak out in the middle of the night or quietly do something to make a point. No, you will know. You will know when Lilith leaves. There will be so maybe there's some sort of situation that you have to really be dramatic to make a point. That increases synchronicity because it is the most exciting thing that you could do in that moment. To be dramatic, to put on a show, to make a point about something real. And then you have the Lovers card, which is about a choice, and it's also about soulmates. And so, why is that your challenge, though? Why is that your... I don't know. I'm not fully connecting to this, but it's here for a very big reason in your challenge here. Now, for some of you, definitely, like this is about making a choice that puts someone, it's like almost mirroring someone to like put them in the position that they tried to put you in. I feel with the King of Wands, the 9 of Cups and the Lovers card, there's something here about you like doing your Lilith thing, whether you're a man or woman, I don't know, and then just kind of like waiting for it to happen. You know what I mean? Like I want to F with everyone so bad. Like I have 20 ideas about what to put in this reading, and I'm not, because I just feel like right now, I don't know. Okay, let's just keep going. Sorry. So you may have to like dramatically reject a situation, okay? But I don't know. I think the most important thing here, let's clarify that 7 of Wands in your overall general energy. What is like worth fighting for or saying no? You do have the 2 of Cups. So maybe this is about a boundary towards, or like fighting for someone that you love in a dramatic way. The 3 of Cups, maybe involving multiple people or some sort of group. This could also be about a whole group against you in some sort of way that you need to kind of put up a boundary to. And then you have the 6 of Wands and the High Priestess as well. It's about public victory and intuition, mysteries, the occult, spiritual power, feminine power. So maybe this is your Rosa Parks moment. And if you're a male Leo watching this, I mean, it's still the same thing, but it's just, I don't know, it's just the same thing. Let's clarify what the star is here in your, here we go. There we go. Hi. Sorry, oops. No, we're good, we're straight. We're straight. 60 choppers, babe. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Why is the star card here? The Wheel of Fortune and the 2 of Wands. So very big decision point related to your destiny, which is why I'm saying this may have to do with a legal situation, or this may have to do with you really being heartbroken, saying F this, okay? Because, I mean, people know what happens if you try to do what you've been doing. To me, at this point, I hope you know what's going to happen. I hope you know what is going to happen. You should, by now, know what will happen. But, alright, sorry. It's just Lilith is... You know what? It's funny. Where I have a aspect with Lilith that basically I am able to channel Lilith here, now. She in me now. Not... She's not under the table, folks. Okay, but I just have to say... Why is this Three of Swords in your advice, folks? You know, it's like... I don't know. Three of Swords is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. In your advice. What else does this have to do with? Queen of Wands? So... Page of Cups? You sold your soul for a crappy deal, at least when it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal, until AI comes and destroys all your fields. I need about 15 Hasidic Jews for a music video. Can anyone help me with that? I know that Kanye cannot, but can anyone help me with that? I need 15 Hasidic Jews for a music video. And I don't want to have to, you know... I'm lost. I'm sorry, but... let's just keep clarifying. So the Three of Swords is to do with a heartbreaking situation related to potentially even yourself, looking at some sort of lack situation, and then you have the Page of Cups here, which is all about immature energy. So someone could be you may have to be a little bit immature in this situation. I think there is, I mean, the question of whether you want to fight fire with fire is always, it's always dangerous, right? I mean, do you fight fire with fire, or do you give it the other element? But for some of you, I do think there's an element of fighting fire with fire, calling out bluffs, seeing what is going to happen. Because at this point, if most of us do not do something like the Rosa Parks situation, we will not make it. So, what's better? You tell me.